सब जी तुम्हारे जी तुम जिया का दातारा हर त्याग संतो जी सब दुख विसारण हारा हर आपे ठाकुर हर आपे सेवक जी क्या नानक जंत विचारा तू घट घट अंतर सर्व निरंतर जी हर एक पुरख समाना एक दाते एक भिखारी जी सब तेरे छोट बनाना तू आपे दाता आपे भुगता जी हो तुद बिन अवर न जाना तू पार ब्रह्म बेअंत बेअंत जी तेरे क्या गुण आप खाना जो सेव है तुद जी जन नानक तिन कुर्बाना हर त्याग है तुद जी से चंद जुग में सुखवासी से मुक्त पे जन हर त्याया जी दिन टूटे जम की फांसी जिन निरभव जिन हर निरभव त्याया जी दिन का भो सब वासी जिनसे व्या मेरा हर जी दे हर हर रूप समासी से तन जिन हर त्याया जी जन नानक तिन पर जासी तेरी भगत पंडार जी परे बेअंत बेअंता तेरे भगत सलाहन तुद जी हर अनेक अनेक अनंता तेरी अनेक करह हर पूजा जी तप तप जपह बेअंता तेरे अनेक करह को सिमर शास्त्र जी कर क्रिया खट कर्म करंता से भगत पले जन नानक।
If you're going to be here for the duration, we're going to be here for a while. What I'd like to offer you is to relax, seriously relax. I have a very powerful presentation coming for you. I've been working on this for 2.5, 3 days. Of course, Spirit doesn't need any notes, but I do it as a way to prep myself to show intention to be open. Turn off the lights, dim them down, create an ambiance. We're going to be here for a while. I'm going to start in about 5 minutes, let people collect. Let me fall inside. Turn the lights down, maybe a candle to show intention that you want to connect. That you want to connect, so much so you want it to consume you. I feel that already. The reason I'm doing the extra candles, the extra incense in a bigger way, this is pure resin incense. It will shift you. It will shift you. So I'm viewing the house with it, with intentions of creating a divine space. It's all intention. I'm going extra steps to say, Lord, Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, Allah, the source of all that's good, I'm here right now. So if you feel that, please feel to join me in that. Turn the lights down, put a candle, incense, change your clothing. Just make this your turn, your time, your space. So I'm going to fall in, just chit chat with you for a moment. I'm going to do a one-time look at the theater, the virtual room, to see who's here and acknowledge everyone. This is going to be a very powerful presentation. Seriously, my heart is pounding in my chest. My heart does not pound in my chest when I get in front of a microphone, be it playing music professionally or doing these bursts of light live videos, and my heart is pounding in my chest. Seriously. I have to keep getting up, use the restroom to tinkle, because hello, Becky, Dorothy, Maria, Elwood, Ron Schaefer, Norma, Cheryl, Kitty Voisin, Allie, Becky, Wanda, hello, Sue, Ronnie, Dana, Kayleen, Kimberly, Linda, Favre, Joe Pinnell. Ron, thank you, bro. Dan Hoquist, Lorena, Patsy, Amy, Laurie, Chloe, Mark Dwayne, Dagny, Wayne, Walker, Tracy, Angela, Brenda. Wow. Thank you all for being here. The primal one is perfectly pure, she said. He's within all and beyond all.
All souls are one with you. All souls come from you. O saints, meditate on God and all pains will fly away. God himself is the master. God himself is the servant. O Nanak, everyone is empty-handed before him. You are in each beat of my heart and in all hearts. O Lord, you are the one everyone.
So again, y'all, thank you for being here.
Some are givers.
Tonight I want to talk to you about something that's been happening to me. And it's not about Keith showboating. It's I want you to experience something that I am experiencing. Only with the hopes of motivating you, not that you don't already, to take your spirituality into a place, dear Lord, that is so powerful, your life turns over like that. And guess what? There's nothing, absolutely nothing you have to do except surrender yourself. And I don't mean release control. I mean that, but I'm talking about surrendering. It's a simple letting go. Well, Keith, that sounds difficult. How can it be simple? It's just wanting it. To the level that you want it is the level you will receive it.
Meditate on the fearless one, the fearless God, and live free.
So the story I told a few bursts of light videos back was about how I acquired the name YahNahVah. Quick synopsis. Many years ago in a meditation, I heard the name YahNahVah because I asked that if my soul had a name that could be pronounced, what would it be? Is everybody hearing me okay before I get started? Because once I get started, I'm going to move forward. Yes, everything sound good? Hello, Angie. Hello, Joey Sehan. I'm away for my response, so I know what to do. Brenda says, yes, thank you. So in the meditation, I received the name from my soul, which is YahNahVah. It felt very natural to me as a simple remembering of another, I wouldn't say time, but another space would be more correct. Those who know me know that from years ago, I used to be called YahNahO, Center of Light, short for YahNahVah. The O represents circle, completion, unity as in a marriage, my marriage, your marriage, our marriage to spirit. So I dropped the YahNahO and went back to recently YahNahVah. When I met this holy man from India, I did an interview with him, and after the interview was over, I genuflected and bowed on my knees, and he draped me with this beautiful sari, and he started hitting on my back, from the base of my spine, all the way up to the top of my back. Seems like he might have been petting me, say, ah, good boy. I'm sure that was included. But my sister friend Angela shortly after said, Keith, he just excited your Kundalini. The Kundalini energy, if you look at the caduceus, the medical staff, it's a staff with two snakes that intertwine all the way up. That is our DNA moving up the spine, but also the fire, the divine spiritual fire that rises up from the base of the spine. And as it moves upward, we begin to graduate in our spirituality until it reaches the top of the head, which is the crown chakra. That is the seat of the soul, and you become God illumined. I can show you the video, not that I'm about to try to prove it, if you want to see what transpired and how it all went down. He begins to rub my spine. This was 2 years ago. He excited my Kundalini. And now I'm beginning to move into the essence of that soul, my soul space, that name, YahNahVah. And my awareness is changing very rapidly, and it's speeding up. So throughout this broadcast, which is I'm going to be here for a while, and I hope you hear, because the energy that's going to come through, the light that is going to come through, the knowledge, the wisdom, and I don't even know the half of it. I have no idea how this is going to go down. That's the beauty of it. I've surrendered. It's not about being right, and it's not about showing off. It's about me being vulnerable, and my passion and my sincerity, and humble. And when I bring through the vulnerability, that is when the light in all of us steps to the fore, and God becomes visible to everyone around you, including yourself. YahNahVah, it has begun. Today's title is YahNahVah Speaks. The Ancient Door. One moment. The ancient door. Today happens to be a 1. April 22nd, 2018. You deduce the numbers all the way down, it comes to a 1, a new beginning, and I think this is part of why I was not supposed to do this till today, at least one of the reasons. What is happening as far as the state of affairs for humanity is not, oh, poor humans. It's not, oh, wow, check you guys out. Over there, wishing I had some of what you had. It's not about any of that. It's not about the human condition. What is happening is cosmic. What is happening right now all over the world, inside of your body, inside of your mind, inside of your feeling base, inside of your consciousness, what you think is happening, what you think is not happening. Because you can bet what you think is happening is likely not happening, and what you think is not happening likely is. But I can tell you that we did it. We have made the grade. This is our homecoming. If you saw the banner at the beginning of this broadcast, before I got onto the screen, it showed a picture of a door to the universe. And there were children ready to step out into it and cross the threshold. And all there was these celestial bodies, these children stepping into the universe, as if we were at the Godhead back when, or whenever we are. And Spirit says, go, do your thing, play all you like, and when you're done, come on back. You look at that picture, it perfectly describes that for me. Hence, the ancient door, the door that we left to come here. I'm absolutely shaking. The door that we walked through to come here, to come down here and play of our own accord, of our own free. We don't have to pay for anything. There never was a fee. It's free. Free will. We use our will freely to do what we want. And often, that free will has cost us a bundle. We'd have to pay for it. But we have to pay the karmic debt in order to walk back through that same door this way. That door is the door to everything, everything, and everything. What exists in that door is everything you could possibly want. The cosmic gate, the cosmic womb, the heart, the sacred heart, and the kingdom, my favorite new word. This is what Jesus and other masters spoke about. And now it's our turn to return, but in this body. That's the prophecy of heaven on earth. Have you ever explored the simple idea, the simple scripture? What does heaven on earth look like? It's being happy, all of us, while we're on the earth. And the teachings that are going to come through tonight is going to provide you with more tools than you might imagine that will help you to achieve that for yourself while you are incarnated into this planet, and pass it down to your children and your grandchildren and their grandchildren. And the prophecy created by no one other than ourselves becomes manifested within yourself and therefore on the earth. This is the truth. I'm already going into channel. And don't let anyone ever sway you of this divine spiritual birthright. It is the absolute truth in and of all things. Spirit is moving, spirit is moving, spirit is moving. What is taking place in Syria right now, spirit is moving. What may be taking place on the worst street in your city right now, spirit is moving. As you look around the world and you recognize all the beautiful things that are happening, spirit is moving. Spirit is moving in everything. And when we step back out of judgment about what we think it is, when it's probably not at all, what we think it's not, which it probably everything is, we get to see. We get to see. The question I pose to you, rhetorical. What side of the fence do you want to be on? This one or that one? I don't want to be on either side. I want to be right here. I want to be in the middle. As Buddha said, the middle way is the way. Jesus, the kingdom of God is within you. Seek ye the kingdom first. I am in my Father's in me, and I am in you. I don't want to be on either side. I want to be clear, and I want to be a lightning rod like Peter. Balanced, whole, and complete. Stationary, planted as a light warrior. Being in contact with these holy men that I have throughout my life, and the angelic presences and higher level extraterrestrial presences I work with, excuse me, let me rephrase that work with me, has brought this into my experience, into my reality, into this life. This message I'm bringing forth tonight is of the highest good, is of the highest calling. It is my mission. It is my purpose. And I will do this until my last breath is drawn from my body. But most of what is happening now all across the world, through the human dance, the human dynamic, the atrocities, even the beauty, is just a simple play of divine consciousness. It doesn't belong to us, but yet it does. And we get to grasp and glimpse that it's our own when we live by the models that are going to be coming through this presentation tonight. It's sort of like a goal we have to reach, but not really. It's mostly happening on the spiritual energy level, on the spiritual planes right now. But I'm being told, as the last 2 weeks, or quite a while actually, I used to never channel when I do my broadcast. Yeah, I would channel, but I would not go into channel mode. And I haven't just yet for the night either. But for the last 2 broadcasts, the other night plus tonight, and tonight is coming through in such a bang, I'm nervous. The energy is vibrating me like crazy. I'm being draped. And I ask you to watch the different phases, my body, my consciousness, my words, my emotions. I may start crying for 2 minutes. It's because of a place that I'm being placed in that feels so high vibrational. I am in utter bliss. But most of this is happening on levels we don't understand nor see or can comprehend at this time. That is why I'm bringing it forth to you to share with you my heart, my life, my mission, my purpose. The world is about to shift. Things are about to change. Get out of politics and war mentality, please, for your sake. Get out of it. Get out of what you think is happening in the world that represents discord and or trouble. I'm not saying turn away from it and not do something about it, but you will have more power, more light at your disposal when you see it from a different place, space, and have the utmost compassion. Is what will change the dynamic, is the light that is required to dissipate the dark. It's by seeing it differently, not by using might, muscle, or military might, electronic muscle, dropping bombs. Peace will never come about in dropping bombs, because you can bet your ass those people who are supposedly the world police is protecting, those people who live in those houses with those children, don't give one squat about the political machine agenda. They are scared and they are dying. Get out of politics mentality. If you want to be in the center. Not this side, not this side. Not the right side, not the left side. Not the good or the bad, the angel, the devil. Those are both noisy. They're just noise. Like I said, be Peter, the rock, stay planted. Because when things begin to wobble, are you going to wobble with them? Or are you going to be the dominant tone to create your own energy dynamic and your own frequency to where you begin to affect everything else around you? And they begin to dance at your song, the one that you're playing, the one that you're seeing. Because we know what happens whenever someone is on stage singing. Everybody takes notice and looks and watches. And they participate by the person doing the singing. Because the person may be singing even in a foreign language, but yet somehow the message comes through all the way to the heart. I will be here a while. I have a very big message. I hope you choose to stick around as long as you can, or you can play it back whenever it is convenient. Notice I am not going to mention anything about finding me, click on my links, buy my books. This is not what this is about for me at all. There is a new ancient religion. My spiritual name is YahNahVah. YahNahVah is the sound my soul vibrates to. YahNahVah. This new religion is called YahNahVahism. Keith, are you saying you're making a new religion? I am saying absolutely no, I am not. What I am saying is that YahNahVah is the name of everyone's root soul. Yah, will, the heart. Na, the mind, intellect. Va, backbone, action. We will our life, whether we know we're doing it or not, even in our pain and misery, even our happiness and joy. And we use our intellect, na, to make sense of it all, process it, and give it form and detail as we go about creating it by putting things into action. Va, the backbone. This is a primordial. In fact, it is the most, if not one of the most primordial, spiritual, universal, God principles that has been anchored in everyone since the beginning of time, which never started, nor will it ever end. It is everything that makes up everything. So YahNahVahism is not Keith YahNahVah, starting a new religionism. It is not only, it's even not a religion. It's a space of being that before we left the Godhead, that we used to be in religiously. It was our essence. Can you imagine, if you would take this time to close your eyes and imagine, dear Lord, imagine this. What was it like for you before this birth when you were with God? What were you doing? What was it like? Serious, honest, simple question. Ask yourself that question. I know what I was doing. I was basking in the light. We were basking in the light. And with that free will as children of God, we never had to leave the light consciously to experience anything we wanted to experience. Find a cosmic celestial event, a star being born, bang, in the matter of a moment of your holy divine thought, you were across the entire universe watching this quad stellar system being born. Watched it all. Time-lapse photography. Because you were eternal. And you just watched it all unfold. That's what you were doing. Everything we wanted, we had. Except one thing. To be human. To be human. To be a human being. Which there are souls waiting in queue for billions of years, according to our linear time frame, to be born human. Beings throughout the universe can become enlightened, but it is only through human birth that God can be realized. Only through human birth. That's why we should not take this opportunity for granted. Granted, live your life and have a blast. Don't hurt other people. Be happy, joyful, whatever that means for you. There is no shame, there is no guilt, there is no right, there is no wrong. All there is the truth of the matter. The truth of my matter, of my body. The truth of my body, the truth of my matter, the truth of the matter is I am connected to my divine parent because everything I see, everything I think, everything I speak to the best of my ability, everything I feel to the best of my ability, everything I do, everything for me is surrounded by my connection to my divine parent. And so all I get to experience every day just because I exercise my free will is to amalgamate myself with the divine will. And your life becomes one of divine fire. It's changing. So YahNahVah is the name of everyone's soul. So YahNahVahism is a new religion, but it's actually an old one. YahNahVahism is what we used to do when we're in that place of solid, absolute being, conscious being. And now we're down here on earth, we use the word because. The reason this thing happens is because we were in a state of being unconsciously that caused this effect, hence karma. But now that we're returning back to the ancient religion, the first religion, and like I said, it wasn't a religion, it was in a state of being that we did religiously. It is the religion of the soul. It is the master teaching. It is the final teaching. This is the final teaching. There is no other teaching coming down the pipe. They may all be offshoots, but this is the core of the teaching. This is the spine of them all. And YahNahVahism is actually the sublimation of Christianity, Buddhism, Hinduism, Islamic, Zoroastrianism, Sikhism. There are over 4,200 religions in the world. You take out all the extraneous stuff that talks about fear, punishment, guilt, all that nonsensical, just nonsense. Take that all away, and you leave the absolute core, probably from the masters themselves who spoke it, that represents the support of humankind, the unity of humankind, the peace of brotherhood of all humankind. All of these together fall under the umbrella of YahNahVahism. Make sense? There's only one truth, and that one truth flourishes through all religion. It's about unity and diversity. As I talked about the three sounds, when I spoke to Swamiji, he's a brilliant light. He's a lamplight of divine love on this planet. This is his 9th avatar incarnation. He was the first God fire realized being to set foot on planet Earth a long time ago. He's here now with his message again. Unity is our strength. Humanity is our life. He looks absolutely no different than this lamplight. He's a light. When I got to interview Swamiji the last time, recently, on air, live, but you don't really ever have the opportunity to speak to him except to say whatever. He's not a man you ask questions of. It doesn't work that way. He sits on the throne on a higher level, not above people, but he's there as a way shower, a lamplight. And it's the lamplight itself, not necessarily the man, that creates, that one should create the humility inside so you can take in said light. In the interview, he allowed me a personal question. How dare I asked? I can't believe it. I told him of that name I mentioned early in this presentation that came to me when I was in a meditation about the name of my soul. What is our? Because there's only one soul. But at that time I said, what is the name of my soul? Does it have a sound? What it would sound like? And clear as day came blazing through my consciousness and heart was YahNahVah. Yah, heart, will. Na, mind, intellect. Va, backbone, action. If you think about it, Ah, A-H, is probably the most sacred seed syllable there is. Swamiji told me YahNahVah is part of those sacred seed syllables. I just mentioned YahNahVah. But also if you think about the name Yahweh, Krishna, Buddha, it's primordial sound. So this YahNahVahism, even though it shelters, supports, and blesses all the other religions, the good parts, the parts that are uplifting, the parts that are non-judgmental. We all know about our favorite deity says, don't be judgmental. Well, then let's not be judgmental. Take that stuff out and throw it away. It's useless. It's extraneous noise. Those religions, most of them, even though their intentions may be pure, It's about being somewhere, about getting somewhere, getting to a place. YahNahVahism is not about getting anywhere. Remember, YahNahVahism is where we were when we were connected and living in the experience of the Godhead. There's no place to be. Why would I ever want to leave this, right? I'm in the light. I'm in a state of being, so there's no place to be. YahNahVahism is about bringing you back to center, bringing you back through that ancient door that we left eons ago. It's not about getting anywhere. It's about being now. Getting anywhere applies that I got to go somewhere. I got to do something. I have to be swayed. I have to prove something. I have a goal. But we talked about earlier about being planted. None of that's important. That is important. The light, the lightning rod, your backbone that is planted into the earth, the light that moves to the top of your head all the way down your feet into the earth. That is being solid. That is being like Peter. That is being connected. Unmovable. I am unmovable. And everything begins to dance to your music. It's about being nowhere, being planted in the soul. And we are already there. We can never remove ourselves from that soul. Because if we did, it'd be like unplugging from the generator and we couldn't exist. But it's about going back to that place consciously. And what I'm going to be offering to you, again, we're going to be here for a while. I'll take a break in a minute if you're here for the duration. I promise you, I'm going to do everything in my power being to be a vessel, a pure vessel of spirit, so that you can make headway quickly, to use the word. So that you can experience what you may be seeing before you in the form of this vessel. We'll take a quick pause. I'll be right back. This will be a good time for you to get some water, popcorn, snack, use the bathroom. I'll be right back shortly. Thank you for your patience. Thank you. Let's keep moving forward. If we were not connected to Source, we couldn't exist. If we were not connected to Source, we could not exist. If we were not connected to Source, we could not exist. We lost it. I'm going to find it. Our disconnection from these truths came about during what we may know as the Great Fall. It's only one aspect that implies a linear timeline. Something long ago, the Great Fall, we disconnected from Divine Parent. I see it a little differently than that. That's too heavy of a connotation for me to be with an absolutely unconditionally loving God. Collectively all said, we want to go play. And we left. To go down here and do what's right. And some selfish ones, while they had the opportunity when we were vulnerable, interjected themselves in our consciousness. It's not blame. We don't blame them. It's just what happened. That's it. End of story. No big deal. We're warriors of light. We can fix the problem. Just our beingness is light. Dissipates dark. What problem is there? There's no problem. The problem is what we think there is. The one that we think is happening. That is still the seed of the interjection planted in your mind like a splinter. I can see. Dear Lord, I can see. Our disconnection from these types of truths, YahNahVahism, being connected to the soul, came about during the time what we may know as the Great Fall. It also falls into alignment with the biblical scripture that teaches about the Tower of Babel. When we're connected to God, there was no races, no sex, no color, no countries, none of that. We're in a state of divine unity. There's no disconnection. In the Great Fall, we disconnected. The Tower of Babel, we were in a state of unity. Whether it's metaphorical or not is not the point. The point is that it's metaphorical, and that is enough. Because in the metaphor, it makes sense to us and what makes it real. There was a separation at the Tower of Babel. Everybody separated from each other. That's hell. We all want to be connected. We all want to be the divine family. That's heaven. So the Great Fall of the Tower of Babel might be two different events, two different times, but they represent the same thing, the circle. That which joins all time and space into a space of wholeness. Wholeness, divine wholeness. Back to the sacred name again. YahNahVah. You see me do this when I do my presentations. YahNahVah. It has begun. This is our will. This is our intellect. This is our action. One moment. Now we're going to get really into the thick of it, so to speak. Okay, here we go. Thank you for being here. I could be saying hi to people in the room, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to break the flow of what's happening and what's likely going to happen. What I asked you earlier to imagine, what was it like to be with God before you came to earth, if that is your belief? And that's beautiful. We don't have to go any further. What was it like for you? Can you imagine that? Was it like to be with God? What did you do before you left God, the Godhead, or wherever it is you were that was magnificent and grandiose before you came to earth? What were you doing? Even if it's on the realm of deceased loved ones, not full-blown God experiential yet, they don't have a body. They can't just simply reach over and pick up a glass of water to drink it. They don't even thirst there. There's no bodies. But the point I'm making is they are closer to the essence of their soul as to why they are conscious of the spiritual plane and not the one that they are aware of in the body here on earth. But we are on that same spiritual plane standing right next to them because they are our family unit. You unplug yourself from that, you couldn't exist. Plug your lamp from the wall and see what happens. Since we're connected at our soul, even on the plane where our deceased ones live, or however spiritually evolved you are, all the way back to the Godhead. When I asked you, what did you experience when you were with God? Can you remember? Can you imagine it? Can you create it? That all you have to do is think of something, and there it was. This is living in YahNahVahism, the new ancient religion. Here's a glass of water. Water has memory. Water remembers everything. If you're out in the wilderness and there's a pond, the water remembers every frog, every turtle, every bird, every scurrying creature, everything. Water is alive. Water gives life. How could something that's not alive give life? It's an oxymoron. It doesn't exist. Water is life-giving. So if water is alive, and I mentioned earlier that you can become the influence when you're stable, you're solid, and you're the lightning rod, the current begins to move to your dance. You want to take care of your water and ensure that it's beautiful and healthy for your body and remove it if it's toxins? And the properties of the water begin to change at a quantum level, to an atomic level, to a cellular level. Change your water. Will forth your life. That's why it is so important you bless your food. It's done. Keith, can it be that easy? I can't tell you yes or no, but I can speak for me. It is the truth. And that's how we begin to live in the religion of the soul, by acting like we are performing from the space of our soul. Change the water. Change the food. Change your experience. Change your perception. Change your life. Change the world. This is living in the space of soul. Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, Muhammad, Nanak, they all lived in the space of soul. They changed the world by simply being present on the earth. And they affected millions upon billions of people. We all should be able to illuminate. Fire your divine engine up. It's not about church on Sunday, but it could be. But make everyday church. Stay fired up. Stay in YahNahVah. Just know that at any moment, your divine parent is at your beckoning call. Literally. It's almost as if, take this in the context it's intended, that spirit becomes your slave because of unconditional love. Anything you ask for, you get, you are granted. It's the genie, it's the wishing tree that says, yes, you can have it. Yes, you can have it. Yes, here's a whole bunch of it. You can have it. But do you really want it? Do you really want that thing? Whatever it is you want, just declare it. Simply, be in the essence of soul. Will it forth through the essence of soul. Will it forth. Yah will, nah, intellect. Use your brain, your think tank, your smart, your God-given talent that you have in the form of an intellect, and your backbone as a way of bringing it about through action. Be in the soul. Again, it's not about becoming what religion teaches. It's about being in the essence of soul. Just be in the soul. Every good positive thing that moves through your experience is soul. You're in soul. Everything you know that is harmful to you and other people simply is not. Move back into the essence of soul. It's about being in that space beyond what religion teaches as a goal. Being a good or bad little boy gets you into a particular place, as if we can blame God for our afterlife or praise God for our afterlife. It does not work that way. When you were home with soul, you had everything. We had everything except being human. And we left it all to come down here to play. Yeah, I'll go down there, Dad. Divine Dad. I'll go down there for a little while, see if we can make this experiment happen and bring all this light and glory into a space of physical matter. Bringing physicality into something that matters. That's why we're here. I'm going to read from the Divine Principle. I said I was going to be here a while. This is really, really powerful. Now, even though what I did a minute ago would be considered being a vessel, it wasn't full. But this was being a vessel when I wrote this from Spirit years ago. It's going to show our connection to the divine. It's going to take out all the argument. No more arguing about who we are. We are the manifestation of soul. Spirit says, let us look at the connection you have with the earth and all life upon it. Again, I ask you to reflect on your body and see it as one living organism housing billions of cells. Skin cells, liver cells, brain cells, blood cells, and so on. All of them encapsulated in one wrapping of flesh. This holds truth for the earth as well. Well, there are billions of individual cells called people who differ from one another in personality, appearance, sex, and race. Humans are embraced by a much larger organism, Earth. Humans are to Earth as cells are to humans. From micro to macro, the universal design is the same, as above, so below. Atomic to cellular, body to world, solar to galactic, stellar to universal. All systems spin around one central source. Atoms and cells have elements spinning around one central source called the nucleus. And you and Earth spin around one central source called the sun. The solar system revolves around the Milky Way galaxy with that huge cluster of stars at its center. Galaxies rotate around the cosmos, and the universe revolves around God, the great central sun. I know you have heard the expression, he thinks the world revolves around him. Well, this is the truth of it. Everything revolves around me, God, for it is I who spins all into life. I say to Spirit. It sounds pretty simple. I mean, as far as you have things laid out, Spirit. Yes, it is so simple that without forcing anything, muscle and might, just use your will. It is so simple that without forcing anything, truth brings about the natural flow of life and light that allows the divine to be omnipresent. This is just the way it is, Spirit says. I do not even judge it, for it is what it is. I ask, do you ever think I'll get there in this lifetime? Spirit says, that is entirely up to you, Keith. Know that even now you have what it takes to grasp the complexity of the universe and to anchor the divine principle if you accept living in love as your abiding criterion. This is pretty powerful. What's coming up? With this new awareness, like the awareness I'm imbuing you with, by doing this presentation and pouring out my heart and making myself a vessel, with this new level of awareness of the soul connection that you are, with this new awareness of your relationship to the earth, other human beings, and God, you now have the ability to understand all that is taking place in the era that you are living in right now. And I told you at the beginning of this presentation, the world is about to shift. I share with you the truth of your connectedness to bring your stability and to provide you with a deeper comprehension of the way things will play themselves out in these transitional times. I ask the question, you mean things will get worse before they get better? And Spirit says, I did not say that, you did. But I can tell you that your unity with God and earth will only aid you when the wheels of Spirit really begin to roll. I told you earlier, the bad things that are happening in the world, Spirit is moving. The good things that are happening in the world, Spirit is moving. What side of the fence you want to be on, this one or that one. And then I came back and said, I don't want to be on either side of the fence. I want to be in the middle. I want to be in the Stargate. I want to be planted. so I can become useful and effective as my divine creator motivates me to be. I say that sounds both promising and ominous. What dynamic is taking place now? This was written in 1997. Earth's energy is beginning to shift dramatically and is lifting at an exponential rate. The pace of life is accelerating like never before. And in this age of computer technology, when new phenomena quickly become obsolete, most people find it tough just to keep up. Dear Lord, please keep up with your life. But it is very important for all of you to update yourselves and absorb as much information as possible. After all, who do you think is behind this idea that you call the information age? I say, well, that goes without saying. Spirit says, well, does it now? Well, obviously, to me, you are. Spirit says, so why is the world so reluctant to use it to its fullest capacity? And I say, ouch. That was a head knocker. It was a wake-up call. Spirit continues, let me put it this way. When humanity finally does get around to taking in what I have been saying for eons, world peace and individual peace will be yours. I ask Spirit, so what should we call this time we're living in? The end, the beginning, the new age, the golden age, Revelation, Armageddon, the rapture? What? God says, it matters not to me what you call it. What does matter is for you to believe with all you have that I am blanketing you and earth with love's vision so that humanity can see what has been created, how it is working, and what needs to be recycled for your further expansion. You must know that the closer I get to you, the more the law of cause and effect will be in play. Said another way, as my light pierces the illusion of time and space, everything about you will become unmasked to reveal your shadow self or your own illusion. I ask, are you saying that cause and effect will not be separate and that our thoughts will suddenly begin to manifest? God says, right, kiddo. As the world keeps moving down its timeline, reality will indeed begin to immediately manifest from thought, because God power is winding its way through every soul on the planet, making now the perfect time to manifest your own life's desires. But before we can truly work and play together, I must first mirror to you, with all my love, exactly who you are as a thinking, feeling, doing, being. So that's how the universe functions, huh? Yes, absolutely. The whole system of creation works in harmony, constantly learning and updating, ever expanding. And I am ready to reveal to you the progress we have made. The world is shifting. There's a major shift coming in a way we won't even understand. And it's important we begin to go back to meditate upon the enigma of God, because we may find that we thought all this time to be divine to not be, or vice versa. I'm going to take a pause in the reading. I'm going to at least peek into the room real quick. Hello, everybody. My energy is elevated, as you can tell. Hi, Angela Cretini. Maria says feeling emotional. Becky says total chills. Ali says for some reason it won't let me open the video. I'm going to solve that for you right now, darling, if you are still here. One moment, everyone. I need to pause anyway And then I get the feeling I'm going to move out the way and let Spirit go at it when it's time. Let me find Allie real quick. I'm going to do this for her. She's dear to me. Again, y'all, I'm going to be here for a while. There we go. She's got it. Cheryl says, every time I close my eyes, I see a door with bright light all around it. Right. Yes, Cheryl, it is about aliens, highly evolved ones. They're here to help. They've been helping us since the beginning of time, since we've been here. Jamie says, praying for peace by sending love. Chris Leveron, Lynn, Kenneth, Tammy, Gail, hello, Kevin, Jennifer, Lynette, Carl. I'm going to get back into it. I won't be coming out of this experience with Spirit for a while. I have no idea where this is going, if it's going to go at all. What I'm doing now, I want you to know what I'm doing. It's very, very important. And to what degree I'm doing it. Like we all do, we turn inward to God. And I'm not saying that your intention and sincerity is any less than mine. But I turn into, I feel a connection. Just a simple connection. But there it is. And it all started from my own intention to connect to my divine parent. Just simple. Say, God, and you even hear it in your conscience. And he says, yes, can I help you? Why would you ever doubt that? Why, dear Lord, would you ever doubt that? Supplicate your divine parent. Beseech your divine parent right now. Just say, God. And you feel the connection. Now open the door. Stretch it if you have to. By intending that connection even more. And God says, yes. You say, I want to, and God says, come on. It's not a religion. It is your soul that is you are forever connected to. It's as you intend, it pulls you through the Stargate. It pulls you through the Stargate. So as I go inside to bring Spirit forth, I'm showing my sincere, devout love. And in so doing, the vessel becomes recognized and his body becomes full of grace. And through this vessel outward towards you, the cup of grace begins to runneth over. As Keith had mentioned earlier, at the very beginning, if there was such a thing, that YahNahVahism is not really a religion, but it is a key, the master key to the golden door. But you've made it so difficult on yourself, dear ones. You have the key. It's always been yours. You just think that you've lost it. It's in your hand when you say it is in your hand. And with your intentions to insert the key into what you think is locked and or locked down tight and you can never enter because you're bad and you're guilty and you're sinful, that gate will never open for you, ever. I deserve it. I am a child of the light. My divine parents sent me here. And I want to return while I am here and bring that here with me and share that grace with everyone I come in contact with. And you put the key in the lock and you realize it was never locked, ever. I proved that to you when I said, say to yourself, God, are you with me? And all of a sudden you hear, yes, I am. So why do we take it a step further and lock down, shut down? We even put a combination on it as if it's something that you need to figure out to ever be able to open it. This is the biggest illusion and humanity's greatest downfall. But Spirit tells you now, you've been working too hard. You've been working too much. Stop working. There is no joy in work, but there is ecstasy in play, bliss in play. Live in the kingdom of your soul. It is that which is breathing the life breath through your body in this moment. And now that you're aware of that breath, even when you are not, it is breathing you alive. It is that which heals the wounds on your arm. It is that which heals the wounds in your mind. And dear ones, it is that which opens up the gate to lovingly allow you in, so you can see that there were never any wounds. Ergo, no perpetrator, no crime. Everything about you is because of and sustained by divine grace. Your breath, your eyes, the fact that you're hearing me speak, the fact that you're sitting on your chair, the fact that you're drinking water. What do you think is moving through you when this transpires, dear ones? You think you are alone in the project, using your finite understanding of what you think consciousness is to make said thing happen? Dear ones, let me illuminate you with something that is so divinely truthful, but so hard for you to wrap not your mind, but your heart around. There is nothing for you to do, not a single solitary thing, except to exist in the kingdom of that gate which I handed you the key. Simply turn it and will forth the presence of your divine parent. And watch what happens to you in that moment. Your task, if there is such a thing, but of a playful nature, is to do it lovingly, joyfully, happily, sharingly, willfully, passionately, sincerely. And then the one moment that you had begins to stretch. Turn up the fire, dear one. Will of your divine parent yet again. And the moment begins to stretch. And the moment begins to stretch. And suddenly, there are no more moments except the eternal present now. And as this vessel had mentioned to you earlier in this presentation, this is why his awareness is expanding rapidly, almost to the point that he cannot keep up. But yet, believe it or not, this is happening to all of you. How long did it take for you all to become aware of what is transpiring across the world in Syria? How long did it take for you to become aware of what happened yesterday to your brother or your sister? How long is it taking for everything around the world and every person in every event, even globally, in the form of politics or not? It takes you to become aware of something. And they are all happening now. They're all happening now. They are all happening now. They are all happening now. And if you want to bring forth your best ploy, you have to be here now. Trust me when I tell you, it's not prophecy, it is a fact. From the spiritual level from which this information is coming, and I bring it forth the vessel to you. that if you do not come into completion, balancing all the wounds, all the hurts, all the unforgivenesses, all the judgment, all the blame, all the pain, all the illusion, your life, God forbid, will take a back seat to what will be happening all around you. Let me say that again. Take a breath, dear ones. If you do not balance your emotional troubles, the world around you and what you think is important, your life will take a back seat to what is transpiring all around you. Family unit, friendship unit, socializing, your city, your state, your country, your continent, your world. This is YahNahVahism, living in the kingdom of your soul, simply by getting out of the fight, as the vessel has said many upon many times. Very powerful, profound truth. And it deserves an exclamation point to be underlined and to be bold printed. This statement. Get out of the fight. All of it. It's all an internal bickering, as the vessel often says. The truth does not need anyone's permission to exist. That which you are hearing right now. How does it feel when you're taking this into your experience? Are you vibrating? Are you vibrating nicely with it? Or are you bucking the current? Finding a dissonance? I don't know what to do with this. Dear one, just relax. There is no other agenda here except your highest blissful life. That's peace, love, and unity of all people. And we do that by being our full potential, being illuminated with divine fire. That's how we live in the kingdom of soul. On to the divine principle. Next reading segment. One moment. Hello, everyone. Good to see you. Spirit continues from my bestseller, The Divine Principle. Ooh, I need some water. This is going back to, again, this whole presentation is about YahNahVah. Yah, will, Nah, mind, intellect. Backbone, Va, YahNahVah, will, intellect, action. Taking action, taking it upon ourselves to do something positive and beautiful and powerful in the world. In The Divine Principle, my bestseller, I asked Spirit the question, Did the heaven and earth idea start with Adam and Eve? Metaphorical or not? They were the seed for an Adamic people. But as I said earlier, there was the interference from the fallen Nephilim, the fallen angels, as I talked about in the beginning of this broadcast. And the distortions they caused needed to be corrected. It is for this reason that Adam and Eve's, real or metaphorical, third son, Seth, was born. His purpose was to upgrade the human RNA DNA code. Lineage after lineage, these enhanced genetic codes have passed down through the house of David until have they become woven into perfection for the arrival of Jesus. Keith, can you see the divine order here? I say unmistakably. Only because of such preparation was Jesus able to come as the bearer of Christ's light. The life he lived then serves as the template for you to follow now to unleash the dormant genetics within you that will help you reach your own divinity. Yes, through the lineage of Seth, Abraham, Moses, David, and many others on a list too long to detail, heaven on earth is now possible. You see, God is patient. You must also understand that these spiritual ones, the deities I named, that came to earth did not come here to solve all the world's problems. Indeed, because if everything tainted has not yet been cleansed, each of you must do your part to eliminate the wickedness left over by the fallen angels. If your predecessors had finished the job, heaven on earth would already be established. Look around, Keith. Do you see it? I said, far from it. So you see that there is work yet to be done. The Bible recounts how Moses and the Israelites wandered through the desert for 40 years because they were told not to cross over into the land of Jordan until their tribe had become purified, that only then could they begin anew. The same cleansing is happening now as in Noah's time. Nothing has changed. The cleansing cycle always happens by collective choice, conscious or not. Meaning, it's not that there are people in our brother and sister family that are tainted and they must be done away with. That's not my intention, so stop it, and that's not how it works. It has to do with being pure. It has to be with being vibrationally aligned. What side of the fence do you want to be in? As I mentioned earlier, this side or that side. Now, as I'm choosing, I don't want to be on either side. I want to be in the center. I want to be in the gate. As the world begins the new millennium, powerful forces of nature, spirit speaking, are becoming restless. This came to me in 1996 to 97. But I suggest that rather than be alarmed, you consider them a reveille, a wake-up call to alert you for what may come. I do not bring this up to generate fear in you, dear ones. I do it to encourage you to take a closer look at what is transpiring all around you. Spirit is moving. Many of you can feel the changes that are going on within yourselves, but you must look for the synchronicity outside, because your progress can be best gauged by viewing what is going on around you. As I said earlier, differently, the sooner humanity heals its collective emotional self, the sooner you will be able to avoid the calamities like the ones that are beginning to beset you. There are many who have closed their hearts and whose minds are now filled with skepticism. Please, dear Lord, if you're hearing this broadcast, don't allow skepticism to help you exit. Just stay, if you choose. They feel that they had been, and that those visionaries you mentioned have nothing better to do than to perpetrate such hoaxes. But their lack of understanding only shows their lack of faith. It is almost as if they want those negative prophetic visions from any scripture to come true. I'm going to move forward a bit. This is prophetic from 1996, when this all came to me. Look at the earth. Mother Earth wants nothing more than to be healed. Those who continue to plunder her resources have not taken into consideration that they are violating a living, breathing being. They do not understand that they are making her gasp for air. Her rainforests, her very lungs are being depleted at such an alarming rate that, to catch her breath, she must exhale ever more powerful tornadoes and hurricanes. Her oceans and rivers, the veins that oxygenate her heart, are being poisoned with so much industrial, nuclear, and petrochemical waste that much of the aquatic life that has long helped maintain her planetary balance is being destroyed. So to give herself a cleanse, to give herself a transfusion, so to speak, she must elevate her sea levels and make her rivers overflow. In the frenzy to extract oil, her delicate flesh is being raided by thousands of daily drill punctures. The overuse of fossil fuels is depleting her ozone layer, giving rise to the fever of global warming. These violations make her belly rumble, shaking the ground beneath your feet. Earthquakes. I say to Spirit, I've got to agree with you. I think a lot of what is happening in the world is because we are so arrogant. And I think that we don't want to admit to ourselves that we really don't know as much about God as we think we do. That is obvious. God says, good observation, Keith. And that brings me to some important questions for everyone. Are you prepared to deal with the consequences of your ignorance? Are you ready to face the global catastrophes that can happen if the majority does nothing? Are you ready and willing to get to know God and to learn and abide by the spiritual laws that, make no mistake about it, are very much in force? Spirit is moving. Again, people should not think that they must stop doing anything for themselves in order to do what they can to better the world. But they must understand that if they choose not to become involved with healing both themselves and the planet, the lives they are living will take a back seat to what will be happening all around them. Spirit continues, finally, dear ones, know that it is because I love you so much that I now relate the possibilities for dire events or beautiful events. And it is also out of my love that I say that it will benefit everyone so much more if you decide to see and make changes rather than wait until the change makes you see. It will benefit everyone so much more if you decide to see and make changes rather than wait until the changes make you see. For only if you all begin to heal yourselves emotionally can you triumphantly come together so that all those dire predictions will have been for naught. Hello, everyone. Everything's still good. I'm getting some reports that people are not able to see this experience. I am now taking questions or comments if you have anything you would like to bring forth. Hello, Jane. Hello, Norma, Laurie, Elwood, Shannon, Candace, Sarah, Becky. I'm still waiting on that comment. Is everything okay? Everybody seeing and hearing everything okay? Hi, Belinda. Someone say, yes, Keith, all is well, kind of thing. That way I know you're relating directly to that question I posed. All that reading I did was from my book, The Divine Principle. Contact me later. I'll tell you how to get a copy. Thank you, Allie. Shannon asked a question, how do I heal myself internally? Two ways. One, you can work on yourself, and that'll get you there. Or you can begin to play for the rest of your life, starting right now, and forgive yourself for everything, and forgive everyone for everything. And the more you do that, the more you begin to bask in the light, and your being becomes swelled, you become filled, and you realize that you were never broken in the first place. The healing really implies just loving yourself, loving you in all your imperfections, loving you in all your quirks. In fact, your imperfection and your quirks is what makes you your own individual snowflake. That's how unique you are. And when you're proud and love all of that good, juicy, delicious stuff about yourself, there's no healing that needs to take place because you're living in the healing light. That's it, darling. Really, it is. That is. As you watch this broadcast of this My Heart With You, go back at the beginning if you have not seen it from the beginning of this presentation and follow the models I bring forth. When I touch my heart, how I dig in there and I just salivate and I want it, and I just want it so much, and I'm so serious about it, the wishing tree begins to fill you inside. It begins to fill you inside. And then you begin to feel it. And then you get to bring it forth to other people. And it shows up simply by a smile on your face. And then people say, what have you been doing lately? What's going on with you? You look a little happier. Then you can tell them. Share with them and say, I found the keys to the kingdom. And they say, where are they? Can I have them? Say, you already have them. Rap on the golden door. You have to knock on the door in order to be answered. You go to someone's house and stand at the door. They don't know you're there. Let them know. Let your divine maker, your divine lover, know that you want to be let in. It's truly, you can see it as a login with a password. Your username is your name. My name is Keith Anthony Blanchard. God dang, I'm Keith Anthony Blanchard. You do the same. My name is Jill Marie Doe. John Davis Doe. And you put the password in. And it's love and responsibility and spiritual awareness. Any one of those passwords will work. And the door opens up. And you move into it. Thank you, dear, for that. I enjoyed sharing that with you. Hello, Sarah. Becky says, wow, powerful, I'm in tears. Oh, dear, you're sweet. Sarah says, how do I remove the veil in my daily life? Daily exercises to help with that. Again, I want to offer to you, Sarah, the same thing I offered to Shannon. For Shannon, how do I heal myself? And for you, the veil are the same thing seen as two different things. It's the same thing. There is no veil, only to those who keep looking at the splinter and not pulling it out. There's the splinter, the engram. I'm separate from my Creator. I don't believe that I'm connected to my Creator. Or pondering the fear-based thought. Why would I ever want to choose to think the thought that I am connected to my Creator? That might cause me some spiritual trouble with my divine jealous parent. That is a splinter. That is the stuff that was inserted into our minds during the great fall. Pull it out, and then you could see. In fact, begin to vibrate higher than the said veil. And it becomes the light. Simply the dark just becomes non-existent. And then, here's the kicker. Not only does it dissipate in the moment you bring your awareness to it, to go, ah, there's the splinter, there's the demon, you pluck it out, and it's gone. Not only is it gone and you're living in the light, you begin to connect to something, your soul, which has never left, and it's beyond time. And then you begin to have memory of the being with the eternal when you never left, and where you know you will always be forever planted. So it's a multifaceted jewel, a multifaceted prize that we get. Can I have another bite of that cheesecake? Maria says, I am just vibrating with all this. Yeah. Slowly forgiving and taking responsibility, says Maria. Great. Yes, I am learning to love myself and all that is around me. Yes, Shannon. Great. Love's the key. Yes, Candace. Great. I am loved. Took me a while to get there, but I am loved. Yes, phenomenal. Powerful. Hello, Linda. Good to see you. Sue says, all is good. I have to let go of loads. Just let them go. Just need to practice self-love and master my emotions. Let them go, too. Let them go. Just let them go. Let them go. Don't let them affect you. Just let them go. Let them go. Take your hands off of it. They're not going to run amok because your consciousness and your level of divine spirituality will not let it run amok. You already know that, so let it go. It's not going to run amok. Your spiritual barometer, your gauge intuition says, now put your hands back on it and manipulate it to spin the energy this way and do this. Now that you've done that, let it go again. You're smarter than that. You're smarter than that, Sue. Let them go. You're still monitoring them to not run awry, but just let them go. Just be the observer. Let them do their thing. Let them play themselves out. Let the veil, be the observer. Watch the veil play itself out right before your eye. Not your eyes. Let your veil play itself out before your eye. Let what you think is healing play itself out right before your eye. Let the emotional stuff that you think you're holding on to play itself out before your eye as the observer. And then the observer gets to watch and go, wow, now I know what you have wanted from me all this time. And you become illumined. And your awareness begins to expand. It begins to stretch. It begins to stretch. It begins to stretch. You're welcome, Sarah. You're welcome, dear. So I'm going to go back. If you have any other questions, any comments, ask them now. I'm going to close with a channeling from Spirit. YahNahVah, the ancient door. Dear Lord, let me in. I want to come watch the divine football game with you. Right? It's Sunday, and we know what we do on Sundays. I want a spiritual cold one. I want a divine beer, and I want to watch the Saints versus the Devils. Let me in. I want to play again as a kid. Help me to experience what's right under my nose kind of thing. All right, y'all. We talked about YahNahVah, which is the religion of the soul, and it's not actually not a religion. It's about being in your soul religiously. It's about Christianity. That which supports peace, love, unity, and harmony of all people. It's about Buddhism. It's about all of those books and that which supports you of being married to your divine parent, your brothers and sisters, cosmically, angelically, and the human family, all the way back to your Creator. YahNahVahism. We're all YahNahVahism. We're all living it. Might as well move into the religion of the soul religiously. How do I become in communion with my soul, Keith, if you just got to this broadcast? I'll show you. Because it's not hard. In fact, it's what's hearing my voice. It's the taste in your mouth. It's the chair you're sitting on. It's simply by doing it consciously and modeling this experience that you see me doing. And in so doing, your divine parent says, yes, what can I help you with, my loved one? It may require time for you to be able to stay in that space all the time. When the gate opens, you will be in eternity, and all your struggles will have been forgotten. Spirit now moves in. In all love, without any judgment, understand the message is the same as it was at the beginning of the presentation. And I will speak again. YahNahVah, that is, the essence of soul that resides and exists within all of you. But right now is using this vessel as a mouthpiece to bring it to your awareness. Things are moving. Get out of drama. Get out of judgment of what you think is happening, because what is likely happening is not what you think is happening, and vice versa. Just step back as the observer and watch it, and have oodles of compassion for all of it, the good and the bad. Become the lightning rod. Become the anchor. Become the presence of your soul. And allow the world to move to the beat of your own heart. Always live in joy. Live in love. And it's not that ooey gooey feeling you have for someone. Can be, but it's greater than that. Love is accepting. It allows the war in Syria. We don't have to like it. We don't have to like that someone in your neighborhood got killed last night. We don't have to like it. But it allows it to be, because it's already happened. You have no choice in the matter. It's more of allowing yourself to be okay with the fact that it happened, and that there is a divine reason. Spirit is moving. And when you see the divine in all things, there the divine will be present for you. I love you.